All right, I think we can get this session started. So my name is Menina Chow. I'm part of the SAP community team. Craig Schmehill, who is being also here today, will moderate the session today with our executive board member, Dr. Juergen Mueller. It's really great to have you here. I won't take too much of your time since you have lots to share. So why don't we get the session started?
Yeah, happy to. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I am happy to connect again with you, our community. And I really wanted to give a few updates, a little bit of what happened already in the first 50-ish days of 2021, Rise with SAP, and a little bit of an update on the SAP Business Technology Platform strategy, SAP Cloud Platform, brand transition, mini update on where we stand regarding the free tier, and then some key takeaways. And we decided actually to just use our websites in order to go through this call here. So no PowerPoint presentation, etc. It's the first time that we connect this year. Probably many of you have been active. At least I saw some names here in the participant list. Many of you have been active at SAP TechEd. But as it's the first time we see, maybe it's still okay to say Happy New Year, and especially to colleagues from Asia, it's certainly fine to say Happy New Year. And yeah, I want to thank you for really engaging in our community, participating in calls like this year, giving us your thoughts and your honest feedback in helping us getting better and better. And yeah, that is also the value, or one of the values we see in that community. So let me briefly share my screen actually. If I find the right tab here, there it is. And I hope you can see my screen here. And what you see is actually the community page. And yeah, I'm always happy when I tune in here to see that we have 2.8 million community users, 287,000 visits per day, more than 1 million questions answered, and more than 226,000 blog posts available by now. And it was actually last year, June-ish, when we connected in our first CTO community call. And I back then shared some updates and what is top of my mind. And you also shared, and we discussed about some topics that were top of your mind. And I'm very happy to be here again. And I'm very sure that we will have a great session today as well. Since our last meeting, a lot has happened, and I shared a lot at SAP TechEd. Also, my colleagues shared a lot at SAP TechEd. Some of you have been active at SAP TechEd. And yeah, this year started pretty busy as well. So let me share a couple of updates. And let me actually start with Rise with SAP. Also here on our community side, I can make it a little bit bigger. You do find, of course, all information that is necessary when it comes to Rise with SAP. Here you see my blog post about Rise with SAP, and you find relevant information about Rise with SAP, but also how it is connected to the business technology platform. So if we go deeper here, this is the actual product side and the offering of Rise with SAP. It shows what is in there. And also here, I want to share a few more thoughts with you and give you some more details about that area here. So we introduced Rise with SAP in January as a so-called concierge service to the intelligent enterprise. What it means is that it is a smart bundle of SAP solutions that really simplify our customers' move to the cloud, how to deliver continuous innovation, how to navigate our customers to really transform their businesses. Because If it's just a one-to-one move, for example, of what they have on-premise today to the cloud, it does not do the job. And therefore, with RISE with SAP, we have a unique bundling of business process intelligence. Here it is about analyzing how customer processes perform today to get tailored recommendations, benchmark against industry standards, and then, of course, have recommendations how to improve. Then it's about migration tools like the SAP Readiness Check, Custom Code Analyzer, to support the whole journey of a customer to the cloud. And of course, that journey should be augmented by a strong ecosystem. I know that many partners are present in this community call here, so we really embrace the ecosystem as well. And then you see here the SAP Business Technology Platform as part of RISE with SAP as well, to easily complement, extend, and integrate with any other SAP partner or third-party solution using the same data model, using business services, and using that, what we also use for our SAP applications. And then you see here a starter pack for the business network to foster cross-company connectivity, collaboration, as well as, of course, one key area, not the only, but one key area is to bringing customers to S/4HANA Cloud, to becoming more agile, more responsive, not only at the edges, but also at the core of an enterprise. As I said, I heard that many of you actually have a partner background, and therefore I really want to emphasize that the strategy around SAP and RISE with SAP is a partner-centric strategy. Of course, we have big partners like the hyperscalers for as an infrastructure as a service partner and hosting there. But also we do have partners in further roles. We have our reseller partners that can resell the entire RISE with SAP offering. And they will help to ensure that RISE with SAP is available for customers of all sizes everywhere in the world. So we have a strong ecosystem of partners, and we need them. We have service partners playing an integral part of augmenting this SAP offer with their tools, with their expertise, to help make these migrations faster, more efficient, and really get the business transformation of customers going. And in fact, here, the partner services option is the default option. So you see us really leaning in. And then lastly, it's our software partners that can utilize the business technology platform to innovate, to build new IP, build extensions, build applications, and complement what we as SAP have in our portfolio, and complement the RISE with SAP offering, and really enhance the overall customer landscape. And then let us go a little bit more into the business technology platform area. And today, a recent study that came out says that large companies maintain an average of 129 cloud applications. Some customers I talked to, actually now we started talking about data lakes, and for many customers, data lakes actually being data swamps, because they do not get the value out of the data lake easily. And now customers started talking about application swamps as well. So how to actually integrate those applications in an easy to manage manner. And then, of course, generating the value out of data is still one of their biggest challenges. And then we saw it with the COVID pandemic. Now markets and market demands and the demand of businesses are changing faster than ever before. So digital business models have to be rethought and digitalized within really short periods of time. And of course, all of that has to happen while developers are very scarce. So those challenges we from SAP try to help with our SAP Business Technology Platform offering here. And some of you probably know that. So this is, for example, a good overview of the SAP Business Technology Platform. where it's about the 4 different areas: database, data management. I will not go into all the products here, but of course, SAP HANA being the key, analytics with SAP Analytics Cloud being the key here as one of the products, and application development, integration, as well as intelligent technologies. And then what is also important to know is that the business technology platform is an essential part of our corporate strategy at SAP. It is the foundation for the intelligent suite. It is the foundation for our industry cloud, as well as for extensions developed by our customers or partners. And when we talk about the business technology platform, really what we see is that customers have to solve problems over and over again in 3 main areas. Application integration, I talked about application swarms. Then here, if you combine those 2 areas, it's really about creating value from data. And then it's about extension, of course, including intelligent technologies. And we want to make it, if it's in an SAP environment, it needs to be 10 times more efficient, 10 times faster to use SAP technologies than competitive or different technologies. Now, let's have a quick look at some of those areas. Of course, we could talk hours about this, and it is supposed to be a Q&A session as well. But let me give you a few important insights here and links. So in 2020, last year, we really flipped the switch on integration. So we have consistently implemented the technical blueprints of our cloud implementations and the integration of those. Here, if you go to api.sap.com, it offers you to start the beta I talked about at TechEd. And here, if you, for example, look at the business processes, you see them out here, and you also can, of course, look at, for example, a lead to cash process, and you see how we are really implementing that. So you can go into a lot of details on how the components work together, what the integration points are, etc., etc. And we really followed through and delivered all of that. And of course, you see a lot of other content here as well. And this was one of the promises that we made when we talked about an integrated suite. We talked about end-to-end business blueprints. And we talked about other things as well, for example, identity management. And in Q1, we want to offer single sign-on in all applications along our 4 leading end-to-end processes. Then when we talk about, for example, here, the area of integration, here you see the leading product here, as you saw in the picture before, is the SAP Integration Suite. And for that, we have almost 13,000 customers by now. And many of you, hopefully, probably, use a lot of the prepared integrations as well. So here you see 163 pages of integration flows, more than 2,000 integration flows. And over the year of 2020, we saw 60% more deployed integrations using the SAP Integration Suite. So a lot is happening there as well. Then let me quickly jump to the area of how to get value out of data. And here I just want to highlight the data value chain. Some of you remember that we talked about that already. So it's really about the amount of data. Here, HANA Cloud, of course, is very important. Then quality of data. Then this is data intelligence cloud and also data warehouse cloud. And then usage of data with SAP Analytics Cloud. And actually, you could put in quantity of data here as well, because the SAP Data Intelligence Cloud allows you to bring many, many different data sources together. And then some of you remember that we said the value from data is actually the product of that. So amount of data times quality of data times quantity of data times quality of data times usage of data, because that's then the value of data, and that resonates very well. When we get to the next area, which is the extension and extension suite, let me open that here. The SAP extension suite here. It's really about SAP Business Technology Platform being the one-stop shop for extending the SAP landscape and beyond as well. And here we provide modern open standards. We offer tools for different types of developers. At TechEd, we talked about that. We launched also citizen developer capabilities. But if you are a cloud native developer and you want to integrate SAP, non-SAP, you can also use that. So here are more than 17,000 customers actually using that as well. And if you now ask yourself, okay, how to get started? The SAP Discovery Center is a very good start. It's a very good point to start. You can look into all the services that are available, but also what you can do if you want to get started, you can see these different defined missions. So what are the frequently used scenarios? You can go down to, for example, what's here, the digital experience. I'm just picking one. And then you see, okay, how can you create a modern user experience with UI5, with Fiori? And you find a lot of more content here. So that is a really good area to start if you haven't done so yet. And we will continue to evolve the business technology platform into a unified platform such that all technology pieces fit perfectly together, further increasing business centricity, for example, with more content, and ensuring openness through open source components, third-party services that can be connected. Then also, of course, partner applications, partner content will play a major role. And here you do see a page on the SAP Cloud Platform and how it evolves. That gives you, I know there's a lot of discussion. Maybe some of you are also surprised, or maybe some of you are angry that we decided to not continue the SAP Cloud Platform brand. So here on that page, we actually also explain with some frequently asked questions why and what, but we really thought we do need one platform, including everything of the good things that the SAP Cloud Platform provided, plus what also HANA and analytics and other products bring to the table. You remember, let me go back to that picture here. So because that is actually what we need as a unified platform. And with that evolution of the business technology platform, that we really have one platform containing all services, we decided that the name of the SAP Cloud Platform is rather now distracting and not helping to the mission. And therefore, while we respect everything and all the good things that happened, we move forward with the SAP Business Technology Platform. Very important, and you also see that written down here in the FAQ. From a technical standpoint, from a developer standpoint, this does not infer any major changes. So all the capabilities of the SAP Cloud Platform remain at the core of the SAP Business Technology Platform. For example, the SAP Integration Suite continues to exist. The SAP Extension Suite continues to exist. The foundational services continue to exist as before. And yes, and we also received feedback from some of you, for instance, on social media. And it's not a secret that we have had several product name changes in the past. And they were also consequences of our innovation cycles. But I also have to say, we shared that news of the SAP Cloud Platform brand sunset with the SAP mentors, for example. And for them, it was already the feedback, for example, we got one was, hey, are you bringing us together for just letting us know that you changed the brand? It's pretty clear. The SAP Business Technology Platform is well known already, is familiar to everyone. And therefore, also for most of the mentors, I would say, it was a natural transition. Okay, I already talked a lot. I just want to give you one more mini update on the free tier, because I know that many of you are eager to learn more about it. And basically, let me go to the business technology platform page here. You know that we extended the trial, the free trial that we have to 12 months. And that also, thanks a lot, got a lot of positive feedback from many people who also then rated, and we got a significantly different rating before we announced this and implemented the 12-month free trial and after. So thanks for the positive feedback. And the free tier actually will be launched in multiple phases. Mid of the year, we plan to have a free tier model available for our customers. So we are really committed to pushing through. We announced that, and mid of the year, we should have a free tier model available for our customers. And then in the second half of the year, that model will be extended and will be available to multiple other constituents as well. We will make sure that we have also initially as many services as possible available in the free tier, and then others will be coming soon. And again, as we mentioned, we are happy to give more updates regularly also to you as the community. With the free tier, of course, you have one place to try, learn, develop, implement scenarios, for example, integration extension scenarios. You can explore various services for free of charge. You can unlock partly limited service functionalities by then easily upgrading to a plan, for example, in a pay-as-you-go model. And no more switching around with accounts, which we mitigated a bit already now with the 12-month extension, but then it's really one account you can keep long-term for your ongoing development in your account. Yeah, with that, I would say, let me unshare my screen here and quickly summarize the highlights. So the SAP Business Technology Platform really is the platform for the intelligent enterprise. Our vision is that the SAP Business Technology Platform really becomes the unified business-centric open data and development platform for the entire SAP ecosystem and beyond, in order to avoid any confusion and to send a strong message of one strong platform, the Business Technology Platform. We decided to sunset the brand SAP Cloud Platform. And also for RISE with SAP, our comprehensive offering that helps our customers with their business transformation, the SAP Business Technology Platform plays a pivotal role. And then now I share one thing, and then I promise that we go into Q&A, which is the Roadmap Explorer. So many of you also asked, please share with us roadmaps, and we do. So if you go to roadmaps.sap.com and type in Business Technology Platform, for example, or you can, of course, go deeper into the product that you want. Here you do see that a lot is happening. So we really double down on our investments in that area. And you see that here in the first quarter, 274, second quarter, 260. And then, of course, there will come more. So that does not mean that we are slowing down, but that we are developing in an agile model. And therefore, you will see more and more deliverables coming to the roadmap as well in the next quarter. So really a lot is happening. And yeah, now, Craig, I do see you. So therefore,
finally,
I had a lot to share, but I still hope that you have enough energy for a good Q&A session.
Well, the questions have been flying in. I'm hoping you can actually hear me too. Yes, perfect. I've tried like 4 different devices. I have 3 connected still, so this is all great. I see all the questions coming in. I also have questions coming in from other channels as well, folks that are watching, but they're still typing it in as well. And 16 questions have flown in while you were chatting, and we haven't even started yet with those questions, but there's some really good ones in here. You covered a lot of different topics, so I am looking here really quick to see if we can find one that kind of goes straight to the premise of where you kind of left off here. And RISE was a big topic. And And I guess this is to start this one here. We'll start with this one. Will you be planning to provide any trainings to partners to help sell RISE for our clients? So something a little bit less tech question, but definitely a question of interest, I would say.
Yeah, 100%. So I mentioned it, without partners, no RISE with SAP. And some sessions already happened, but I also already got asked where to find more information. And the right point, I don't know if we have the email addresses, or if you're interested, let us know via some channels, because Partner Edge is really the point where you will get more information. So that is partneredge.sap.com. And then you should find under Solutions, RISE with SAP. And there you should also find more information. And I know there's a lot of sessions scheduled regarding the RISE education. And if you're not finding what you need, please let us know.
All right. Thank you very much for that. A couple of questions came in on Signavio. Yeah. So a couple of questions came in on that one. Will their applications become part of the business technology platform, or will they stay as standalone? As well as, I saw one down here, the questions are flying in so quickly. And some basic general highlights of the future of them and the BPM direction. Yeah.
So what we as SAP decided is that business process intelligence is an area that is so important for our customers that we want to own that area. And therefore, Signavio is a leading player in the area of business process management. And also they do have activities and progress and offerings in the area of business process mining. And that we actually combine with organic efforts that we as SAP already had in the business process intelligence area. So the idea, and that's also why we included it in RISE with SAP, is that as any SAP customer, you can get, and we start with ERP, you can get an analysis of how your processes perform today. And then what is important is this is the insights part. For now, for this year, we will treat that as a separate team, separate unit to bring them into SAP and let them get settled and incubate this topic of business process intelligence. But then these insights generate, of course, the necessity for improvements of processes. And that is then core part of the business technology platform. How can I build an extension? How can I make sure that the right data is available for the right people? How can I maybe deploy an intelligent RPA bot? How can I facilitate a workflow? How can I automate topics and automate things? So therefore, that is a nice interplay between both of these. So these are like the main capabilities we strengthen with the acquisition of Signavio, and also the interplay with the business technology platform. I hope that helps.
I definitely got a lot out of that. Very interesting. Here's one that popped in. I haven't heard the term recently. I guess I need to get back into the more technical topics more, but could you elaborate a bit more on ODM and how much focus is on this area?
Yeah, on ODM, my assumption is that the one domain model is meant, and there's a lot of focus on that area. When I went to API, and let me briefly share it with you. When I went to api.sap.com, here you can actually, let me do that. And we have it in the beta, but also in the older version. You see the SAP one domain model here. And these are the first objects that we published. For example, a workforce person is something that we published here. And now you can see how at SAP, with the integration of our applications, the applications really speak one semantic language as well. So the workforce person in SuccessFactors, for example, SuccessFactors has an interface that speaks that language. And if you want to interact with SuccessFactors, you can actually you can use the workforce person here. Same with S/4HANA, for example. And therefore, we will publish a lot more of those models in the course of this year. Cost Center, for example, is already published, and several more. And because why is that important? It's important because it makes the integration of our application so much simpler. And then you can, of course, imagine that all APIs, all events, they will all follow this one domain model approach.
All right. So, and this one actually is a question that came up on your blog post in the community as well. And it's come here as well. And honestly, it goes towards the whole rebranding, renaming, and the question is there a simple renaming matrix available somewhere? We've heard SCP is now SAP BTP, but what is the deal with SAP Integration Suite, SAP Extension Suite, SAP Application Development and Integration, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? It seems to be a question of interest in multiple different areas. So I thought we might be able to give you a moment here to answer that.
Yeah, and I appreciate the question. And we will have in the SAP SCP brand transition page, we will have, I don't know if it's this week or next week, but we will have a kind of glossary around that, like how will things be named, etc., etc. So of course we do have that internally already, and it also takes a little bit of time to rename everything. But we will publish more information on this SAP Cloud Platform brand transition webpage.
All right. There's just so many great questions flying in. It's really hard to pick the next one without jumping around. It's just one comes in, I'm like, oh, this is really interesting. And then another one jumps in while I'm reading that one, and it's moving on me. So
I'm happy that you have to manage the questions.
These are fantastic questions. Everybody, please keep them coming. This one is again, a lot of the stuff is coming up around RISE. And just to reiterate our earlier Partner Edge and locations like that for finding out more about RISE and how can existing partner become a RISE partner? Is there a single onboarding or certification process? What are the criteria? So once again, maybe we can put a link or something into the chat to let the folks know where they can, as partners, go find out more. Could be great.
It should. Yeah, I mean, let's try to solve that via the chat. And if you as partners don't have all the information you need, please really let us know via Craig, via me. We want to help you. And as I said, the best information I have so far is on Partner Edge, Solutions, RISE with SAP. But if that does not help, really let us know.
All right. And I'm noticing the chat at the same time, where the chat is actually people telling me to ask someone's question that's been put in. So let me see if I can find this. There was a question from Volker that we should be asking here. I can almost guess what this is. Yes, I was not surprised. From Volker: for gaining traction in the sweet spot, SAP, non-SAP, open sourcing CAP would be helped tremendously. First steps without a proper API and CAP, and the Oktoberfest winner CDS-PG are in place. Can you briefly elaborate on the status of open source CAP, please?
That is a very deep question, and also like implying already a lot. But indeed, I next week, I think it is, have a meeting to talk to the team, because I still remember TechEd and seeing the cups with open source CAP, etc. So bear with us on if yes, how, what we are doing in that area. I know there's some things as preconditions, of course, to open sourcing. So we keep you posted. And I see people reacting here on the chat.
I'm not sure we could have gone through a whole open Q&A call without that question at least popping up
No,
for once.
no.
I appreciate and really enjoy the passion that everybody has for it. So it was really nice. But let's jump into the next question. Could you please give details about SAP AI and ML strategy and positioning? And
yeah,
I
100%.
personally am very interested in this one as well.
100%. I mean, everyone waits for the AI silver bullet. So you deploy this one thing and everything is magical. Sorry, that does not exist. So a while back, I don't know, 2 Sapphires back, we reported that it was 1.5 years back, something like that. We reported that we had like 120-ish use cases, then 200-ish use cases. Now we have more than 300 use cases where we embed our technology, ML, AI, into our applications. And also we do see very good traction on the use of that, because that is certainly an issue. What we are still working on is how can we make that easier also for partners and customers to leverage. And for that, there's a lot of internal work going on, for example, with regard to a customer dashboard. So a customer then can decide, again, the one domain model, someone asked about it earlier, which objects do I want to share with SAP/SAP partners in order to use them for machine learning models? Because customers certainly say, oh yeah, there's a lot of data I would be willing to share and I get the improved algorithms back. But also there's other data that is so sensitive for me that I don't want to share. And that has to be a customer choice. And we are building the infrastructure for that. And that also will still take a while. But that is the approach to really get to scalable AI and ML, not just for SAP and embedding it in our systems, but also then for the whole partner ecosystem. We have a new lead on AI, Fei Chu, and also at TechEd, we had the interview with her. Some of you remember that. And this is going within, we call it the AI Factory, exactly going in that direction. And I mean, also here to just extend that, you don't need to wait. So there's partners, for example, the one we had at TechEd that are actively using SAP's ML and AI capabilities. We have in some areas really market leading business services because, for example, we apply machine learning AI to Concur and all the travel receipts and invoices. Of course, now there's not so much going on, but before that, we already gained a lot of data. And now that data in context of an invoice, because they also do invoice management or travel receipts, now we do have market leading services in that area, which we again publish on the Business Technology Platform. You can see them in our Discovery Center as well.
Yeah, I've definitely seen leaps and advancements in just the invoice recognition that we've done. When I look at even the tools from the Concur to the Tripit side, all the way up into the enterprise side, it's just absolutely amazing progress that I've seen there.
Yeah, and I briefly, while you pick the next question, I briefly want to share this as well. So here again, Discovery Center, we saw that a couple of times today. I went to the area machine learning AI. Your business entity recognition, for example, that is the one that I talked about, or document classification, service ticket intelligence, invoice object recommendation. So a lot of business-centric services that you also in that area, in that form, you don't get in other areas. Of course, you get generic machine learning services from a multitude of vendors, but these business-centric ones you find here with the SAP Business Technology Platform.
All right, next question. Can you provide further insight for BTP multi-cloud? For example, will SAP Analytics Cloud be available from Azure? Will we have more services available from Google Cloud? Not very few at the moment. Yeah, so where are we with BTP multi-cloud?
I can, again, actually, it's it's good that we do this without slides here. And again, I share the Discovery Center, because if I go to all services, what should actually happen, it's a little bit hidden here in the filters, but what should happen is that you do have a map here of where BTP services are available today. Different colors are SAP, AWS, Azure, GCP, Ali Cloud. And then you can filter for yourself what you are interested in. Have a look at the license model in case that is relevant for you, because, for example, you have a CPEA license, and then you can either pick individual regions or you can pick individual providers, for example, and then really go deeper. And for new services, ideally, you should find that on roadmaps. So if someone is asking for SAP Analytics Cloud, for example, now there's a lot happening, of course. Would need to digest that a bit, but I would assume that something pops up here in those areas as well when it comes to further regional deployment. And I will make sure and double check if that's not the case yet, that we also share that on roadmaps.sap.com.
All right. So I'm going to make you think a little bit harder on this one as soon as I can find it. Sometimes platforms are often just the sum of value of their capabilities. Could you share your thoughts, views, and insights on the value of a platform per se?
It's a very good question, I would say, and I would agree. And what we did very often in the past was we were only looking at one particular runtime, saying this is a runtime and I can do a thing. And remember the 4 areas with the different products and capabilities that I showed. The business technology platform is really bringing all of that, and in a unique manner, because it is so tightly integrated with our applications as well. And then, of course, that goes on with security capabilities, because if you leave that data in there, then, of course, security is a given, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a lot of thinking also that we applied going into that direction. So you really have LOB-specific tooling. So as we are embedding SAP Analytics Cloud, for example, in SuccessFactors, this is embedded free of charge already there. And then if you as a customer decide that you want to do more than just using that for HR, you can expand from there. And you, for example, can expand into workforce planning. And this is where you see that the different capabilities come together. And for that, again, you would need one domain model, you need one security, one identity, and you can reuse the semantic meaning that we have. So a lot of that going on, and our thinking really evolved into what you also mentioned. What are the capabilities that we provide? And we also highlighted that it's an open platform. So if the capabilities are not there, then it's very likely that a partner can actually offer capabilities that are complementary.
All right. Then, as we've just talked a lot about the technology and the platform, does SAP RISE provide any actual new technology, or is it mostly about licensing and sales model?
It provides new technology in the form of really coming together in a bundle, because often, and I learned that as well, I'm coming from a technology side. So if it's developed, then what's the issue? What are the barriers? But actually in practice, there are a lot of barriers when things don't easily work together. And this is what we want to take out. This friction is we are taking out with RISE with SAP, because all of that comes together. Look at business process intelligence. You can immediately then help your customer, assuming you're a partner, you can help your customer assess the business processes, how well are they running. You can derive improvement proposals. You can use the business technology platform with credits are already in, customer has it already. You can use that to then actually perform the improvements. And that is how things really come together. So per se, you also can buy all the things individually, but that is then sometimes still putting some hurdles in the way, which we really are taking out with RISE with SAP.
All right, thank you very much. I know we're getting close to time, and I want to make sure we try to get a couple more questions in. Here is another one on the another acquisition that we just recently did, Appgyver. Will Appgyver an add-on or be integrated in SAP Fiori this year?
Yeah, so we are very happy that we could do the acquisition of Appgyver. Appgyver provides low-code, no-code experience. And I would go further because we as SAP, we want to provide you as partners, but also as customers, a fully low-code, no-code environment. We delivered some parts of that already, for example, for workflow, for example, for the integration suite. And now we want to do that. Of course, over time, it needs some time to integrate them, but we will do that as well when you want to extend applications and when you want to build new applications. It is our aim to really make that as simple as possible. And therefore, yes, Appgyver will continue to serve their existing customers, but we will, of course, put a lot of effort, and we are investing massively into the existing team. And we will put in a lot of effort such that everything Appgyver built will also then work with SAP technology. So, and it's, yes, you mentioned SAP Fiori, but it's the one domain model. It is access to the integration flows. It is access to our workflows. It is access to RPA. And for that, of course, underneath, you do need the support of security and also here, all the capabilities that we have around identity, et cetera, et cetera. So it's very exciting to see that. I'm very excited that the team is joining us. We are happy, and in the end, we will provide an amazing low-code, no-code experience for US partners, but also US customers.
All right, it's like every time we answer, two more pop in related to it. Let's see here. I'm getting also, I don't want to ignore all the, I'm trying to get the different channels as well. So here is another one here about helping partners to choose a focus. Let me find it again. What should partner focus on now? Signavio or Celonis?
Yeah, I mean, we had very successful collaboration with Celonis, and by combining SAP's and Signavio's capabilities, now we will offer a holistic process-centric transformation suite that goes beyond Celonis' offering today. And that is also what we saw in the market, that there is and can be a need for both. Of course, Celonis' process mining tools, they are integrated in a larger suite called Execution Management System. And this suite enriches the pure process mining functionality with execution applications to automate workflows and run on the Celonis execution platform. And in 2020, Celonis also announced the acquisition of Integromat, online automation platform. And in the end, we believe that together with Signavio and SAP's business process intelligence capabilities, we can match the Celonis capabilities and offer even more functionality, including that we really can look at what's the fastest path to insights, what is process modeling, business process modeling, where Signavio is the market leader for the as-is process, as this is the real process, including process mining. Then as we think it is process, how it is modeled, and that can come together into the to-be process. And yeah, therefore, from an SAP perspective, I can only say that we decided that this area was so important for us that we want to own it and made respective decisions, also openly communicated with Celonis. So of course, we have a professional business relationship there. And I would stop here and not go into more details in that area.
So we're getting close. We're down to the last couple of minutes, and I want to try to end on a question here that I think, regardless of the specific nature of the question, I think it applies to everyone. And it's around education. It's about learning. It's the transformation of SAP developers. The individual who wrote the question in particular highlighted ABAP developers to cloud developers seems to not be easy. Can you share a best practice suggestion about this? And I think this is a common question that as we progress to a cloud-based environment, this is relevant for all of our different developers, whether they're ABAP or not. But I was wondering if maybe you could share some insights or your thoughts on some of the best practices and suggestions for all of our developers to really truly embrace the future.
Yeah, first of all, learning must never be over. And we do have millions of ABAP developers in the ecosystem. And you see with RISE, with SAP, actually S/4HANA Cloud plays an even larger role. And we make sure that, of course, there is also ABAP as an extension option for S/4HANA. Actually, we also enable older versions down to ECC to be extended via the BTP and different runtimes and that we have there. And my tip was just to continue learning, trying new things out. And it's not just because if you're an ABAP developer, it's not just that you can program in ABAP and that you know the tools and the infrastructure, but also do not underestimate your business know-how, your specialties, your expertise that you have, and that cannot be taken away from you. But then if you combine this with continuing to be curious, and you saw SAP TechEd completely for free, you can go to the learninghub.sap.com, where we offer a lot of material as well, Open SAP. So we really open up and make as much as possible from a learning perspective available for free to you. So therefore, please make sure you find the time to continue learning, educating yourself, and developing. And as I said, do not underestimate that it's not just a language like ABAP, but you do have a lot of expertise around that as well. I can share a little anecdote with you just internally in our SAP labs in India. Actually, just this week or last week, we celebrated a couple of people. And one winner of these SAP Labs India Awards actually was around generational leadership. And here, I don't want to impose that there's a generational shift. I just want to use that as an example, that people with different capabilities, in that case, it was age, really working together, come to the best outcomes. And I still remember the SAP TechEd keynote where, Craig, you know that, we had the developers, like really different ones from cloud native to ABAP developers working together to get something done together as a team. And that it needs to be the mindset that we are in. Absolutely. And you are in our community here.
Absolutely, totally agree with that. TechEd was just it was a fantastic opportunity to see so many new things. So that was really cool. Juergen, we are just about at time. I want to give you the last minute or so to any parting thoughts. We did get through just under half of the questions that were asked. So we will have to follow up with those and get some answers out into the community on those. But I wanted to let everybody know we do have more calls coming up. Faye, we're actually planning to get Faye on the community to do an open Q&A call as well, so we can dive more into the AI and the ML area. Your partner there, Thomas Zawa-Essig, will join in the community as well. So folks, we're trying to make as many of our executives available to all of you as possible to get your questions answered. Please forgive us and understand that we can't get through every single one, but we will be following up in the community with those answers as much as possible. But Juergen, the last minute is for you to close our call.
Yeah, I just can say thank you for being such an engaged community. I was just reading through the chat a little bit as well. And no, thanks also for the positive feedback. I like to be on the hot seat here with questions coming in live and then answering to the best of my abilities. And no, really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Please stay true to the SAP community. Continue giving us your honest feedback. And I promise that we continue improving and doing as much as we can to support you. And please, one thing I kept in mind was the RISE with SAP and partner topic. So if that does not resolve itself via the partner edge, please let us know and we will help you. With that, stay healthy, everyone. Have a wonderful start into the week and wonderful experiences, hopefully using SAP technologies. And I wish also you personally nothing else but a lot of success. So take good care, everyone.
All right, Juergen, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for staying tuned with us. If you did not catch everything from the very beginning, the replay will be available up here shortly later in the day. So thank you. And Juergen, thank you for giving us so much of your time.
Craig, and also the team behind. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye, everyone.